One. And we are recording with Mr. Wyatt Lim.
Hello, everyone.
Today's episode 850, Monday, June 27th, 2022 at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Introduce yourself, man.
Hello, everyone. I'm Wyatt from Defense Politics Asia. And if you follow the Ukraine war, you probably know me. It's pretty hard to run away from me nowadays if you are following the Ukraine war. My name is starting to pop up in many places. And I seem to have gathered accidentally some very hardcore fans. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then Defense Politics Asia started off as a think tank since a few years ago. And then my partner had a fallout with me, and then I revamped the whole thing and I went for a different approach, more like a news kind of thing. We still have the analytics and think tank behind it, but more towards news reporting. And then I revamped the website and everything. Then I started to publish and write some news and stuff. And then it was until the Ukraine war, I was figuring out how to do the YouTube channel in a way that is efficient and fast and don't waste so much time, but I can push out a lot of content as much as I can. Then Ukraine war came about. Then I started to cover the Ukraine war on a daily basis using a map, because I was inspired by Live UA map, which is the very popular map that people like to follow the Syrian war and the Ukraine war. And then I like that format, so I started to use the Google map. I find a way to try to map out what is actually happening, because when we are not in Ukraine, it's rather confusing. When you see all the location names being name dropped in all the different updates. And then I started to plot where exactly things are happening, and then I started to get a following. So I start off the conflict with only 20 subscribers, 20. Only 20, yes. Yeah. Then now I have what's the number now? 35,600.
Gee, shaming me on my own podcast.
So sometimes I tell people that I'm earning blood money because,
because everybody else is, might as well get some.
The YouTube channel got monetized, and because I was trying to build Defense Politics Asia, DPA in short, into a media network of sort, or at least a media outlet that can cover news all around, especially Asia. And then, but you need capital, you see, and news website actually have a lot of problems trying to get revenue. So YouTube seems to be the most straightforward one, although I know you have some problem with YouTube, but
just a little.
but it turned out to work out really well, because I got monetized from the Ukraine war. By the time it was 1 month time, I already got monetized, and then I started to get revenue. And then today, I think in terms of revenue wise, it can provide me a full-time income. So I'm pretty happy about it. So I'm always joking about how once Russia decided to give up fighting, my YouTube channel is gonna close down.
And you now view defense contractors differently. You're like, the war can't stop. You're like, I need this. This is what pays for my microphone.
So what happens is that I find it very funny, because we call it Defense Politics Asia, and I'm not covering Asia. I'm covering Europe. so I always find it very funny. So I started to I'm trying to very hard to actually to cover more about Asia stuff. There's a lot of things actually happening in Asia, and I'm not able to find enough time to read up on them. Like, for example, Sri Lanka is becoming a failed state very soon. They have no fuel, no money, no nothing, and they have a huge population. And I think I just saw on the news just now that they are trying. They have, I think, World Bank or IMF, I'm not sure which one, in Sri Lanka discussing to get some loans, but it's not gonna solve the problem. That's the problem. The loans are just traps.
Hey, as the comedian Ray Kump said, hey, when the IMF and the World Bank come in and give you loans, and you go, how are they ever going to pay back? Listen, they don't want you to pay it back. They come to you in a couple years and go, listen, we both know you can't pay this. You're not servicing it. How about we just clean the slate, but you give us mining concessions, or you let us
Yeah,
destroy your rainforest and get all the timber.
sounds totally like the Ukraine war now, right?
Yeah. Exactly. You see, and you start to see it as like the business that it is.
Yeah, your country is making a very good deal with land lease.
Oh yeah.
You can just price anything at any price.
Anything.
You know, like one bullet, $10.
Whatever you want. Yeah. What are you gonna do? You gonna say no?
Yeah. Exactly.
Russia's coming. You're not gonna pay for that? All right.
Do you want the MRIS? You want the rockets? Per rocket, $10 million.
You want some man pads? You want some javelins? No? All right. Well, good luck. See you in hell. So, no, you got to pay for it, man.
Yeah. Dude, and it's very weird that you know the pro-Ukraine crowds are not seeing that.
Yeah.
And this problem is now spreading around the world because of the food crisis and fuel crisis coming out from this war. Mm-hmm. And then you at the same time you have a very bad luck where India have a failed harvest because of drought. There's a heat wave that hit them just before they go to harvest, so they lost a lot of the potential that they have to feed the world. So now the world is more dependent on Russia even now. And then we have Pakistan going crazy. They just removed a very popular president. So, and then you have China feeling very itchy. They want to scratch that Taiwan back.
They're gonna get it too. They're gonna get it's this fall or it's 2030 or whenever. They're gonna go for it.
Yeah. So, but that could be also. So I think that could be also something to do with the internal problem within China. Maybe there's some very serious financial issues within China that we are not seeing. Maybe people in the know, they probably will know better. And wars are usually very good for covering up problems or even eliminating debts. So that is my worry. You see, in China we have the real estate crisis, right, where all the biggest real estate companies are closing down. So those are signals where you can know that something is going very wrong in China. And then that's why you have this escalation of talking about going to war with Taiwan and all the things that are coming up. So I'm very worried because I'm very near to Taiwan. I'm in Singapore, and Southeast Asia. We are not very far away. Maybe 4 or 5 hours flights, 3 hours flight. So and then if the war breaks out, China is definitely going to capture the rest of the South China Sea or the islands. Then of course they will get involved with my region. And then my country will be stuck in the middle because we are good friends with both countries. Yeah. So a lot of things happening in Asia, but I only talk about Ukraine.
Have you interviewed Gordon Chang?
Oh, not yet. I heard of his name a lot, but no.
I've had him on several times. I think I could probably put you in touch with him if you want. Or not, I don't care. It's whatever you want.
Maybe next time. Because the problem now is when I cover the Ukraine war, it takes me 5 hours just to plot everything, to go through all my different sources. I have the pro-Russian sources, mostly are in the Telegram. And then I also have the pro-Ukrainian sources, which are mostly on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I actually have how many? Maybe almost 100 keywords that I use TweetDeck to monitor. And then I will go through the entire list to track the entire front line to see if anything is happening, because the pro-Russian analysts or the channels may not talk about everything, especially things that are not going well for the Russians. They will not report about it. They'll keep quiet. Then that's where you have to get from the Ukrainians. And then the pro-Ukrainian ones. Then the pro-Ukrainians one will never talk about the success of the pro-Russian, the Russian successes until they can't hide it. Then you were like, then that happened,
It's kind of weird. You have to look at the Russian sources to see what Ukraine's doing and look at the Ukraine.
Correct. So that's what I do.
It's weird.
So which is why I got a following, is because both sides are actually getting information that they want from me. Because if they go to a YouTube channel that is pro-Russian, then it's very hard for them to get the pro-Ukrainian information. Whereas they go to the pro-Ukrainian one, then it's all marshmallows and rainbows and unicorns.
So you're the Rothschild Bank. You're funding both sides of the conflict.
But, so earlier days, because earlier days where there's a lot more Russian successes in the first month or two, then a lot of people just keep commenting that I'm pro-Russian. Nowadays, it's not bad. I got both sides.
Yeah.
You can have in the same comment, you're pro-Russian, then the other one is you're pro-Ukrainian. Yes. So then you have another comment saying, hey, you got both comments. That means you're doing something right.
Exactly. If everybody hates you, you're doing it well. It's yeah, and I'm so jealous that you're still on YouTube and that you got monetized. They never monetized me. They banned me last August.
You never got monetized. Even I thought your last count was at 5,000. That's a lot.
Yeah, the rule was that you had to break 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, and I had broken 5,500 subscribers, and I think I was at like 10,000 watch hours, and they never monetized. And I tried. I kept sending him emails. They wouldn't let me do it, and then I started interviewing Dr. McCullough and Dr. Malone, and they're like, "Hey, don't." They were like, "Hey, don't do that," and I was like, "No." And then a second time, they're like, "Don't do that," and I was like, "No." And a third time, they're like, "Final warning," and I was like, "Fuck yourself." And then they were like, "You're banned," and I was like, "All right, well." That was surprising.
Yeah, because they did the wrong thing. They should monetize you first. Then you'd be like, no, you have a stake in it. That
I have an incentive. Yeah, they should have corrupted.
Right?
They should have corrupted me. They should have started paying me that sweet YouTube money, and then would have shut my fat mouth. But they made the mistake of turning me into a radical.
So now I'm so bought by the Americans now that I'm like, it's very funny on Twitter, because people think that I'm pro-Russian because I just want people to know to face the reality. Russia is winning and helping Ukraine to give them more weapons and armaments. It's just going to make things worse. Yeah. For the people of Ukraine, it's not you're not really stopping the Russians. You can't stop them. They are ultimately an army built to fight the NATO. Even though they wouldn't win a conventional war against NATO, but they got nuclear weapons. And just purely on conventional weapons, they should be more than enough to fight Ukraine. Absolutely. So that is the reality. And then of course, so I sometimes I like to troll on Twitter. I like to troll all these pro-Ukrainian people. Then after that, people they will come and say, so how much the Kremlin paid you in rubles?
How much the Kremlin?
Then I was
that's the best. That's the best comment. That's the best compliment. How much you getting paid?
The best part is I always reply, no, I get US dollars from America. It's the Americans that are paying me.
Zelensky pays me well, motherfuckers. Yeah, it's I mean, you got to think like that was the whole purpose behind. That's what Eisenhower saw, that's what Eisenhower saw after Truman was that's why they wanted a bunch of tactical nukes because it was cheaper. It was cheaper to keep the Russians at bay because we knew that we could, but it was going to cost an arm and a leg to match them tank for tanks. And this was like 1950s, tank for tank, plane for plane, everything, right? The whole idea was like Russia has this massive force. Let's use our technological advancement and try to keep them at bay with tactical nukes. And then, of course, Russia got the nukes. But that being said, that was for the U.S. You can go toe to toe with the U.S. Maybe they wouldn't win, but if LeBron James and Michael Jordan go up against each other and LeBron James loses to Michael Jordan, okay, that doesn't mean LeBron James isn't still going to run a train on the rest of us. So, like, sure, maybe they couldn't take on 2022 America, but they could still bulldoze Ukraine, which they're doing.
Yeah, they're already doing. So what happened is that just for overview for your viewers who don't really understand what it's like, if you play computer games, if you play real-time strategy games, there was always a point in the map that you are fighting very hard. And then the front line may not move, but you're losing. You're losing all your troops, you're sending all the troops, and you're starting to trickling your troops because you're not having enough mass. But the front line will not move. So what we are seeing now is that the front line is moving very slowly. But the moment you run out of enough forces, then they are going up to 10-1. Then that will be the point where they will just sweep across and go all the way to your base. And that's when you rage quit, right? You're like, before they reach your base and destroy everything, you just, fuck it. I just gonna resign.
I'm done.
Yeah, so what we are seeing now is that for the past 3 months, it seems like the front line doesn't move a lot, but actually the Ukrainian military is really running out, which is why they are always begging and threatening people for more weapons and stuff. Because good way to tell is that all the new vehicles and armor vehicles or artilleries, the moment they reach Ukraine, they are already at the front within 3 days, within 5 days to 3 days, 3 to 5 days, which means that they don't even build a battalion or regiment around all these new weapons. They just have to send it directly to the front. which means that at the front they actually have a severe shortage of equipment, heavy equipment, and not just that, we have the mobilizations and everything. So despite whatever all the smoke and mirrors that they're throwing out, all these are signals that they are actually losing the war very badly. The front line may not move because if you are winning, you will not push them so fast. You just continue to send your trickle move your units here. I will slowly destroy them. The moment you are unable to bring in more, then I'll move forward. And then that's what we're seeing now.
So it's like treading water or something, right? You're treading water. Let's say you're out at sea. You're treading water for 9 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours. It doesn't look like you're losing. You're still above water. But the second you've used that last glucose molecule and your muscle seize up, all of a sudden you plummet. But it happens. But it happens like that, so it looks like it's overnight. So we're keeping it's like stimulus checks or something. We're pushing this thing forward. We're pushing this thing forward, and then all of a sudden it's hyperinflation. It's
exactly just like the financial system, right? So every time you see that all the big banks and all the financial analysts will say the same thing, is it? The fundamentals are strong, the stocks are high, then but the crash is always suddenly.
Yeah, why does it always happen on it's always like a Black Thursday?
Oh, we're shocked. But then 1 week or 2 weeks ago, they already sold everything.
Yeah.
They will tell you that everything is strong, you should buy now. Then while you're buying, they're selling.
Yeah.
Then after that, when it happens, they're like, oh no, what the hell?
We didn't know, we'll learn next time.
I feel like killing myself.
Yeah.
But then they were actually laughing at home.
Yeah, bullshit. They're running home with all their money. So it does seem like did you ever read the book World War Z about zombies?
World War Z?
Yeah.
Not zombies.
Yeah.
No, I heard about it. I heard about this book, but I haven't read. I don't have time to read anything nowadays.
I read this in 2009, so I don't have time to either. But it's one of it's probably the best fiction book I've ever read, and it's kind of eerie because it actually kind of plays out much like COVID played out in terms of just because what World War Z it wasn't like your normal zombie movie. It was about it was written from the standpoint of what happened over the world. How do nations change? How did the economy crash? How did the militaries move around? How do civilians? So it was actually it was less about zombies eating your brains. It was more about how the world changed. And but there was one thing that the US military did, and obviously it's a fictional book, but they were we're gonna burn in hell for this. Because what they would do is, so they had their bunkers where the VIPs, the generals, all of them were, and they're good. They're from the Cold War. They have this shit, right? They can stay underground for 1,000 years. But they would find these enclaves of humanity, maybe a walled off town or something, where people would make these makeshift, almost medieval forts. And what they would do was they would every once in a while they'd go airdrop water, MREs, a bunch of ammo, medicine. And they would drop pamphlets saying we're not going to forget you. Uncle Sam's going to save you. But what they were doing was they were keeping those enclaves alive because the zombies would always go there instead of to the bunkers. And they said, we're going to burn in hell for this because we're keeping them alive. And I can't help but think that's Ukraine. We're like, hey, we don't want Russia coming to our shores. Hey, Ukraine, here's some javelins. Here's $40 billion. What do you need? Here it is. And meanwhile, we're at home sitting fat and happy and safe.
Yeah. And the best part is Russia didn't even wanted this war.
No.
They don't want. Why would they want to mess up that thing? They were doing really, really well before the entire Euromaidan. They were doing very well. Because of the Euromaidan, because they have to secure the Sevastopol port in Crimea, they have no choice. They have to go in because they know that whoever they are overthrowing, who is taking over after the overthrow of the president is going to be utterly pro-West. So they have no choice. They have to capture. If not, then if they enter Crimea after everything has come down, then it will be like a declaration of war. Then it will be like a totally different thing. It will be more like what is happening now. Yeah. So I think that's why the Russians, while they are having anarchy, right, they just take over Crimea. But we are also seeing that the Baltic states are similar. So because Ukraine is running out of soldiers and the populations are losing the will to fight, a lot of these civilians, they are mobilized, they are untrained. I heard one of them was, one of the POW said that he only shot 2 times range, live bullet, 12 bullets each. That means he went for live firing, 12 bullets twice. That's it. That's their training. And then they go to the front.
Jesus.
I fired more rounds in my conscription, my national service. In my first live firing session, I shot more than that. So this is quite scary to hear this. Of course, we can say that it might be misinformation, but I think it might have some ground given how the trend of the war is going. They really do have time to waste bullets. They really do have time to do training. And because in Singapore, we have conscription. So everyone go through, 2 years of service, at least. I went through 6 because I was a professional soldier. Then, but our basic military training is 3 months. So when I hear about people doing 2 weeks and go to the front, and then I remember me training for 3 months and still feel like an idiot. Yeah. I have no idea how they're going to fight.
Yeah.
They're all going to die.
Yeah.
They're going to die.
It kind of just sounds like World War One. Just
they're just throwing people, to die.
The meat grinder. Just throw them in, throw them in, throw them in.
That's exactly the term that they are using.
Yeah, so that's what they called Verdun, didn't it? Like this. Yeah, it was
the French.
You just throw men into it and just burn each other down. It's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like superheroes or something. They both have like a laser, and the laser is shooting at each other, and they're doing that thing. But that's what they're doing. Is they're just doing.
And then success means 100-meter gain.
yeah, and then you just bulldoze through.
So which is where I'm also worried that, like what you say just now about World War Z, where they are just using other countries to fight to keep safe. Then we might actually see the Baltic states will be the next. Yeah. That's why now we have the Lithuania problem with the Kaliningrad, where they are actually, so Lithuania is closing the railway line, not closing, but they're actually restricting certain goods because of EU sanctions against Russia. So Kaliningrad is an enclave away from Russia territory. So they need to go through the Baltic states and Belarus to actually reach. So the railway have to go through Lithuania. And then Lithuania is saying that we are going to apply the EU sanctions, and then certain kind of goods will not be able to go through to Kaliningrad. However, the number of goods, including construction materials, everything, is 50% of all the goods they're going to go through by train. And then now the Russia and Belarus is like declaring that this is utterly unacceptable and everything. And then war is, the tension of war is starting to, you can feel it in Lithuania now. So the Lithuania, half of them is like supportive, half of them are freaking out. So one of the comments told me who is from Lithuania. So so that's the danger, you see, because if Ukraine is falling, then NATO, if they have this warp mindset that Russia is actually, like what they say, trying to expand, then they might actually sacrifice away the Baltic states, as another front line, just to keep, the Russians away. I'm not sure if that will happen. I hope not. Yeah. So it's a scary time nowadays.
How much longer do you see this going on in Ukraine? Because we're talking about how it's inflation. It's kind of fake. Like all these things, like the stock market crash, it eventually crashes. The guy treading water eventually goes down.
Multiple days, a few years ago, man. It's still not crashed. So I'm very, very worried. Typically they have this idea, they have this concept that every 7 years you have some kind of recession. So because the market need to correct itself, we are way, way overdue. Like way overdue.
Well, we kind of.
The last recession was Obama time,
Yeah, 08. Yeah, we still really haven't. The COVID recession really hasn't hit yet. We've been.
So that's not the real recession.
You ever get shit faced and the next day you're so hungover there's nothing to do but have another beer? You ever do that to just push the hangover off?
Yeah,
and then and then you get fucked up the second day, and the third day you wake up, and there's that moment where you go, I can have another beer, but you go, the hangover's coming. I have to pay the bill. Like, it's coming. And there's I always just white knuckle it, and I go, here we go. I get terrible anxiety, and I just lay in bed, and it goes away. But that's kind of where we are now. Like, COVID we got shit faced. And the next morning, we all had margaritas in the form of stimulus checks and printing $8 billion. And now the third morning we woke up, and instead of going sober, we went, fuck it, we're going to go to war. Now we're waking up on the fourth morning and it's like, dude, we're going to have to go to a hospital and get some like intravenous Valium or we're going to die. But what
Yeah,
we've been doing really since World War II is we just keep waking up and having another beer, hoping that, I don't know, as long as the beer doesn't run out, we're good.
yeah, and then the US stock market is still on all-time high, it's still going up. Even during Trump time, even the COVID time, like how could that be reality? It doesn't make sense.
No.
Then remember we have like during the COVID type crisis, the oil is free. Every barrel is like they'll give you
yeah.
Then now you have to pay the bills now.
Yeah, and we're all like, well, what's this shit? I mean, yeah, it seems like we're gonna try to kind of fudge the books with like a war, right? I fear that we're gonna just keep pushing the bill back, and the only way to really pay it is just gonna be like a world war. Because when there's like a world war, and I say this in a very limited knowledge,
like the Great Depression. What happened to the Great Depression, right?
Yeah,
because World War II saved USA from the Great Depression.
100%. Defense Production Act. Get everyone going. All the men, you're going to war. All the kids, you're collecting cans and scrap metal. All the women, you're making shells and gas masks. Yeah. And then there's no one to pay back because you killed them all. And then we have the 50s and it's good. Right?
And the best part is this is exactly what I mentioned about China as well.
Yeah.
Because China.
That's my next point is how are we going to do? Oh, what you were saying with China, I was looking at it from
because China also have the financial problem, right? Because they have been, printing money to build all their, gold cities. While expansion, building stupid amount of bullet trains that doesn't make money and everything. And then they're expanding their military, still, giving bribes and everything. While they close their entire economy and prevent the money to go out. So they're gonna have problems. And they might go to war to solve it. And if USA did the same thing, we're gonna have a World War III.
Well, that's where it kind of seems like it's all going, because everybody's got these like debts to pay, and we're all just looking like, hey, it's worked before, and none of the people pulling the strings are going to be killed. What do they care? So yeah, I mean, China poured more concrete between 2014 and 2016 than the United States did between 1900 and 2016. That's from Brigadier General Robert Spalding's book Stealth War. Yeah.
Although the quality of the concrete is suspicious.
Hey, don't question it. Don't question it. Don't question the great state of China. Our concrete is good. Our concrete #1. That's what it is, man. But we kind of are at this point where it's like, I mean, what are we now? Like $32 trillion in debt. And I mean, we've got like a quadrillion dollars in derivatives and unfunded liabilities. I mean, come on. Everybody's out of work. We have no manufacturing base. If they take Taiwan, we're going to have no microchips. What's going to happen is we're going to go sitting around and go, we have all these problems, but we've also got a $10 trillion war machine. How are we ever going to solve this problem? We're going to go bulldoze the world. It's so clear. Luckily, I'm 31. I think I'm over the draft age. So I think I'm good. I will be part of the propaganda network. I've got the flag. I'm a white guy. I'll be part of the propaganda. I'll spread the propaganda. You tell me what you need, Uncle Sam. But yeah, I think World War III is probably, but it's weird because unlike World War II, there is the possibility that the elites also get screwed because of thermonuclear warheads on ICBMs.
Yep.
That wasn't a possibility in World War II. I mean, it literally ended when we got the fission bomb, but.
Yep. So this is what I want. I was warning people about as well. I think maybe it's on Twitter. So I was saying that, I think on YouTube, on Twitter, I was saying that don't bet. So Lithuania is very bullish now. They're like sticking to their words and trying to act like they're the strong guy, talking down Russia and stuff. They're saying that Russians are idiots. Lithuania.
Okay.
So but that was big. They dare to say all these things because they have NATO backing.
Yeah.
So and then actually you don't call it NATO, it's actually just USA. The rest of Europe is like, their military is
Lithuania is talking big shit because they've got NATO behind them, but NATO's like, we're not real, we're just the US. And it's what a surprise. It's the war economy. It's the military industrial complex. What a shocker.
So the danger is that what makes you think that the Americans will come and save you? That's the big question. Why would they want to risk a World War III? Because like what you say, today's war is different. In a nuclear war, ICBM can hit any location.
Anything.
So for example, I was saying the example. For example, if war breaks out and NATO declares war, right? Because Russia invaded into Lithuania, and then because Lithuania is the NATO country, so NATO have to trigger Article 5. But then the Russians say, the Russians launch a hypersonic ICBM into London and kill off Boris Johnson, and then the entire of London is gone.
Yeah.
And then Putin won. If the countries still do not withdraw from this war, the individual member states don't withdraw from the war, the next ICBM will be on your capital.
Yeah.
How many countries will quit? Turkey will quit before the war even starts. It was like, oh, we have withdrawn from NATO. And then you have Italy or France, it was like, no, Macron would like say, sorry, we're out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die for Lithuania.
Yeah.
And
that's true. That's the thing is like, sorry, keep going.
And then USA only wants money. They just want to make money. So there's no reason to die for Lithuania. So that's why I felt that the bullishness of the Baltic states, and Poland is too much. They are too confident that the protection of NATO will keep them from the Russians, and then they can just say whatever they want. I feel that is very bad politics, a very bad diplomacy, and they are taking a big risk, to trust the Americans.
Yeah.
I don't think USA is a very good country to put all your trust in.
No, Henry Kissinger. It is dangerous to be an enemy of the United States. It is fatal to be an ally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we'll throw you right under the fucking bus. We'll wave the bus down and throw you under.
Yeah. Like, for example, lately Finland and Sweden want to join the NATO. Now, of course, NATO will say, come, join us.
Yeah.
But what do you think NATO want you to join? They want you to be the front line.
Yeah.
So that the war does not go to Germany. The war doesn't reach France. Yeah. So that you be the front line. The Russian soldiers will die there in your country with your people.
Well,
that is the reason why they want you to be there. Same thing as Turkey. Yeah. Same thing as Turkey. And Turkey, but the thing about Turkey is that they know it very well. So that's why I say in any case of a NATO war, Turkey will be the first one to say, sorry, we will quit NATO. We will be neutral. Because they already have a very bad relationship with NATO now. So there's no reason for them to die for the white people.
Yeah.
They were just like, no, this is not my war.
Yeah. It's the World War Z thing again. It's that we want you to join so that you can be a buffer. It does. Yeah. If he shot like a hypersonic or whatever, an ICBM right into London, nuked London, doctrine would say 77 years of doctrine would say that we going to start nuking everyone. But I've always wondered what would actually happen if someone used a nuke. Like, do you have these like steel-faced generals like fire the nukes, or do you have someone going? I think they
will all panic and piss on their pants.
I think they shit their pants. No, I've always wondered that. Like, what would actually happen? I've also always wondered, like, what if you're the United States or you're Russia or whoever, and it's the Cold War, and we launched 3,000 ICBMs over the North Pole, and you see them all coming, and there's nothing to do to stop them, and that your country's going to be an irradiated wasteland. I've always wondered, like, do you return fire? Or do you, in a moment of clarity, go, we're dead no matter what? If we press the button, all of humanity is over. Or, and it seems like a total beta bitch move, do you just take the ICBMs to the face and let humanity go? Because you're done. Once they're coming to you, you're done. You cannot. Deterrence works in theory, and it's worked beautifully since 1949 when the Soviets got the A-bomb. But once it's in the air, Wyatt comes up to me and you throw a grenade to me, and I've got a grenade to throw to you. I know already I'm dead. Sure, I can get revenge on you, or there's only two of us in the world, and I'm like, am I going to end humanity? Because I'm already done. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't prepare for it and go, there's no winning nuclear war. No, you have your nukes for deterrence. But once it actually happens, I've always wondered.
Which the deterrence have failed.
Yeah. So what's the point? Do you, in all of your high-minded, we're going to ruin the world, we're going to turn the entire thing into an ember, or in a moment of clarity, do you zoom out and look at humanity from ancient Egypt till now, and you go, am I really going to bring down the whole ship because of me? Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you have to have some crazy Curtis LeMay motherfucker or General MacArthur who's like, hell yeah, we're going to end it all. And it's like, all right. But like, I don't know, man. I mean, right. I mean, LeMay was barking mad. I love Curtis LeMay, but he was barking mad. He wanted to go in and nuke Cuba, and JFK wouldn't let him. And it wasn't until like 40 years later we found out that the Russians already had tactical nukes in Cuba. We didn't know that for 40 years. So it would have been over. And
not just that, no, they have a nuclear submarine that was already following the US carrier group.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the moment to press the nuclear button to destroy the entire carrier.
And that submariner said, like, no, I'm not going to do it. There's that one Russian submarine, Yuri something, and I think he got court-martialed, but he was told to come up and fire, and he said no because the whole thing's over. So I've always wondered that, and then so to go on your point, now let's water that down. What if instead of 3,000 ICBMs, and let's make it 1, and instead of them coming at your home, they're coming at London, and all of a sudden, boom, and the room goes quiet, and we're all going, holy shit, they just did one, and we've got our finger right on the button, and Russia's got theirs right on the button, but nobody's firing, and Putin goes, okay, now what?
Let's talk.
I think you fucking talk. I think you get really real, really quick. Everybody takes the Ukrainian flag off their Twitter handle, and all of a sudden it goes, fuck this shit. I still want to go get Uber Eats and go get drunk at the bar and play PlayStation and jerk off. I don't want nuclear war.
But this is exactly the kind of scenario that I think will happen, because a lot of people think Putin is crazy, but he's not. He's one of the most prudent guy and most practical, pragmatic, leader around. He don't go to war easily, and he always very reserved. He try not to. Remember, in Turkey shot down a Russian plane over Syria. Russia did nothing. Not even a sanction, not even a thing against Turkey. They only called an ambassador over. So Russia have a lot of self-control. But so in a situation where they really want to warn, I believe there will be that one nuclear missile, just one, but it will make an impact that it will probably destroy NATO, I guess. Because if you hit London and NATO do not react, NATO is gone. NATO is as good as it's over. Then Lithuania will start to shit their pants.
I don't think everyone's shitting their pants. Again, in all my wisdom, I don't think they'd hit London. I think London's too
important.
I think it's too important. It's too similar to America. It's a bunch of rich white guys. I think maybe they would nuke like Lithuania or something, or they nuke Kyiv. Something where it's just far enough that we'd be like, all right.
Because I don't think it will be Lithuania, because I think there's a lot of Russian people staying there, if I'm not wrong. So they still want the land. If they were to capture it, they are not going to. I don't think they will hit Poland, because Poland will go all nuts. They will become Ukraine number 2. So I don't think they will hit Poland. So
maybe they just hit like Sweden or something.
I believe it might be UK, because UK is crazy now. Under Boris Johnson,
it's too important.
They just keep pushing for war now. Just keep pushing for war, and in fact, I'm not sure if you're aware. I have been. It's just not just me. There is after UK, Brexit away from EU. There is this strategic competition between UK and the rest of the the European Union. And this war now is not just a proxy between the West and Russia, but it's also a proxy between EU and UK, which is why UK is they are gathering their own allies, where the Baltic states and Poland is behaving very differently from the rest of the European Union. They are super, super bullish. And then they are backed by UK, which is UK is one of the most active providers of arms and weaponry to Ukraine. Because from my understanding, UK is trying to build a new alliance or a new bloc with Poland, the Baltic states, and Turkey. So they want to cut in the middle of Europe, and then to cripple the European Union somehow, to reduce the influence of Germany and France. Which is why Macron is continuously trying to talk to Putin all the time. They're always Macron is always calling Putin, trying to explain, trying to maybe talk and discuss what's happening. Whereas, Boris Johnson would be like going to Kiev, saying hello to the Kiev folks and then saying, we'll give you everything, we are brothers and whatnot. And Poland is doing the same thing as well. So Poland is just as bullish. They just can't wait to go to war with Russia. So I suspect there might be that undercurrent that is on the west side, in the west, is not exactly one collective, but there's actually two factions. In fact, three factions, because USA is on their own, America is on their own. Then you have the Germany, France-led European Union, and then you have UK on their own, doing their own thing. So I think it's not so clear if the Article 5 is triggered, like the Ukrainian got invaded, then what would they do? And who knows, Macron might be already calling to Putin to say that, whatever happens, don't hit us, you can hit UK, it's okay. Hit London, kill Boris, just don't touch us, we will surrender immediately. We do not know, this kind of thing will happen.
But see, if I'm Putin and I get that phone call, I'm going to nuke France. Because really? I'm going, well, no, think about it. We're going on the idea that America, we won't fire all the nukes immediately, right? We're going to go, let's talk.
Yeah.
If UK is as fucking crazy as you're saying they are, and I think they probably are, they also have their own nukes and they have their own pride. And they might say, if America's not backing us, God save the queen, and fire their nukes, in which case the whole thing's fucked, because it's going to devolve so quickly that China's going to start doing shit. India, Pakistan, we are going to get that global thermonuclear Armageddon. But if France is going, hey, we're not going to do anything, and all Putin wants is one city,
it's a warning shot.
Well, I'm hitting Paris then. He just showed me that he just showed me his butt. He said, fuck me. So now I'm going to nuke him. If the idea is not to throw the world into nuclear war, that's what I would do. Don't hit the crazy UK guys. I mean, I don't know anything. I mean, what the hell do I know? I have a biology degree.
So the problem now, so the problem with the power balance between Russia and the West is that the Russians now has hypersonic weapons.
Yeah.
So which means that you can launch missiles that cannot be stopped. So nuclear missiles that cannot be stopped is crazy. Now, the second thing is that the Russians, while they created the poison, which is the hypersonic missiles, they also created the antidote. They have the S-500. The S-500 is the surface-to-air missile that can shoot down a hypersonic weapon, which means that you can easily shoot down any ICBMs. Although I'm not sure how many of these S-500s they have. Where are they positioned? I have no idea. But
I don't think
if they have the capability to shoot down any ICBMs or most of the ICBMs, then the entire nuclear deterrence will be over. It doesn't work. And that is the danger now.
I would somewhat disagree, because I look at like the Sprint ABM that the United States built in the 50s and 60s, and then an even crazier one called Hybex, and we could shoot down ICBMs, and it worked, and we had multiple layers, right?
Correct.
But the idea was, and this is what fell behind Curtis LeMay's post World War II strategy, is three prongs. He said the sneak attack of Pearl Harbor, the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the fact that no matter what, at least one bomber always got through. So now, instead of conventional dumb bombs, if you have nuclear bombs, one will always get through. So that was I think that was like our logic with Strategic Air Command, was we had all these ABM sites, and we were like, we might be able to shoot down, let's say best case scenario, 99%. 1% is still, from LA to New York, is a radiated wasteland. So that's what they're probably, they probably do it. The SA-500 probably does shoot down shit, probably does shoot down hypersonics. You only need one to get through, though. And you shoot, sure, maybe they can shoot down 90%. We do a saturation attack with 2,500 missiles, SLBMs, ICBMs, fired from B-2s. They're stealthy. They come in. Each of those is a MIRV, and they all scatter like shotguns. You get 99%, great. We're still hitting you with a gigaton of nuclear Armageddon.
And I think we are seeing that in Ukraine as well, because despite all the anti-aircraft, anti-missiles technology, the Russian positions still get hit by missiles.
Yeah.
So you're right. You're right.
And that was the thing, is Eisenhower said, is like, right, because we had, I guess under Kennedy we had the Pershing missiles, but Eisenhower said that like it's still to this day we know it's real, that the Soviets they put their nuclear subs right off international waters, right off DC, so that it's a 4-minute time of flight. That's my favorite book ever is Raven Rock by Garrett Graff. It's all about the continuity of government. And Eisenhower talked about, he was like, there's not going to be this moment where we see the bombers coming and we have to make a decision. That's why he said you had to have NORAD, you had to have Greenbrier Hotel, you had to have Raven Rock, you had to have Mount Weather, you had to have all these bunkers ready, stocked, and up and running 24/7, because it was, I mean, what is that? That's 240 seconds. That's how long it'd pop up off the shore, right from the, just come right at us. There's no way to defend against that. The only way to defend against that is deterrence and having a government hidden underneath a mountain of granite. I can only imagine that we probably have something right there too. So where, yeah, they could probably shoot down most of it, but you only need one. And then it's, the whole thing is done. That's all you need is one. And then you have all these other countries now. And this isn't just Russia, US now. I mean, France, India, Germany, UK, Pakistan, China.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe Israel. Maybe North Korea. Maybe
Israel. Yeah. Wink, wink, wink. But but they all have them. So now let's say we shoot all these SLBMs, ICBMs, MR, whatever. Let's say Russia's zapping them down left and right, and maybe the US, maybe we do have some sort of Star Wars system, and we're zapping them left and right. But you have all these other countries, and they're using their own kind of like gauging the world, but they still see a flash in New York, a flash in Moscow, a flash in Tokyo. It's over. They're not going, let's wait for it to calm down. They're all going, fire the missiles, eat shit. Like, so I think you would have to only do one. You'd have to do a hypersonic. I would honestly, if I were them, I would go for Ukraine. That's what I would do. I would go for Ukraine because there's already sort of this public acceptance that we're destroying Ukraine. Yeah, just you can pull your guys out or have some sacrificial guys, whatever. I don't know. But hit them, not even in a special spot, and do like a tac nuke. Do 5 kilotons. Do a little baby nuke. Just a little bit nuke. Just the tip. And then that's how you get everyone. I think if you hit London, I think that's game over, man. I think that's fucking game over.
But that was just my example. So
I don't know what I'm like pinning you down on London. I'm like, God damn it, Wyatt, you can't hit London. You're like,
I didn't say that they will hit London. I'm just saying as an example, if the Russians decided to use a nuke as a warning, then NATO will collapse really fast. That's my gut feeling, you see, because who dare to take the risk? Who dare to take the risk? Because all the leaders, all the rich and elites, they want to protect their own interests.
Yeah.
What's the point of going stand up and then you die? Yeah. Then there's no point doing all these things, right?
Yeah.
So I believe they will protect their own self-interest, and then they will Baltic states, bye-bye. You can go and die. It's okay.
Oh yeah. No, it'll get really real really quick. And people will see that NATO is just an idea on paper. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see
the
that.
The best part is Joe Biden say, what?
I don't know if Biden, if Putin nukes London, Biden will nuke London. So fucking, I mean, dude, that might be the only response. That's how you fuck with Putin. Putin nukes London and goes, let's talk. And we nuke London and go, yeah, let's talk.
We'll do toe-to-toe with you.
Putin's like, what the fuck was that? Biden nukes Detroit and he's like, I'll kill my own men. That's what you do, is you nuke fucking Detroit. And
you kill 10 million, I can kill 20.
That's what you do. Maybe that's the only way out of this, is we go to Putin and go, hey, maybe we both just pummel the shit out of Ukraine and we'll split it up just like Germany in the Cold War.
Yeah. In fact,
East-West Ukraine, East-West Kiev. Yeah. That'd be great.
That's actually, some people are, talking about as well, that Poland is eyeing their old territory, in Lviv, on the western side of Ukraine. Which is why, they are getting very interested, which is why also Belarus is, getting very tense. That's why they created an entire new command, and then they're going to recruit more soldiers into the army for this southern command that is to the border of Ukraine. So they warn Poland, if your troops go in, we will go in. So which is why Poland don't dare to enter Ukraine just yet, because they can always go in and say we are peacekeepers.
Yeah.
The common phrase, they always like to use peacekeepers, but the Belarusian basically tell them, if Polish troop enter, we will go to war. So which is why there is still this balance there. There is things are still relatively safe in Western Ukraine. As long as you are not in near any military installations, you'll be safe.
You know what might be an option? Because there hasn't been an above ground nuclear test since like 1963, I think. Or is it 73? There hasn't been an above ground test since then. What if Russia did an above ground test? Just like we used to do them in Nevada. What if they just did a test? A very open test. They know the satellites are watching. What if they did an above ground test? It'd be the first atmospheric nuclear explosion in, well over 50 years. That might be something.
Maybe. But that's so North Korean.
What?
That's so North Korean.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the North Koreans will do. Is like, no, we are not in the headlines. We need to turn their heads. We cannot forget about North Korea. Let's do a missile test.
Yeah, North Korea would get involved. Maybe they'd fuck it all up. North Korea would nuke Beijing. It'd be over. That's the thing is.
That would be funny. That would be so funny.
It would be hilarious. Let's be honest. If there is a global thermonuclear exchange for 30 minutes, it will be kind of funny.
Yeah. And actually, I it's my personal belief that North Korea isn't afraid of South Korea. They're afraid of China way more than South Korea.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember the peace summit, the North Korean summit with between Trump and Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
So they were. I believe Kim Jong-un was trying very hard with Trump to kick China out of this peace talk. So they they have all this drama about we're gonna meet in Singapore. Then no, we're not gonna meet in Singapore. We're gonna meet in Singapore. So because originally they decided to meet in Singapore, then the China say that we must be in this talk. Then after that for some stupid reason, then Trump came out and say some crazy stuff about the North Koreans breaking their promises or whatever. Then they say the meeting is cancelled. That actually have a real impact, in Singapore. We just suddenly cancelled everything, because we already doing all the preparation in Singapore for the meeting. Then suddenly Trump just said we are not meeting anymore. Then we cancelled everything. We started to dismantle the stuff. And then after that, then I think 1 week before the meeting, then suddenly Trump and Kim Jong-un say, the meeting will go on. Then in Singapore, we rush and re-prepared everything again. That was hilarious in Singapore. Then finally they met because they decided to cancel, so the Chinese cannot invite the Chinese anymore. Then in the very last minute, they decided to meet again. They don't have to invite the Chinese. So they met individually between North Korea and US only, without China involved. Which means that North Korea isn't really, they don't really care that much about China. But although Kim Jong-un did take the armored train to China to meet Xi Jinping to kind of like explain.
Yeah,
he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you called it. Yeah, it's like getting in trouble with your dad.
Yeah, at that time I was speculating. Maybe they have decided to open some American military base in North Korea.
Oh gee, good Lord in heaven! Can you imagine if we had a forward operating bases in North Korea?
Yeah, imagine the deal is okay. We are North Korea. We'll eliminate our nuclear weapons, but United States must guarantee our independence, our security. So you must open US military base in North Korea. That will go crazy in China, man. China will like.
What if North Korea joined NATO?
But that's not in the North Atlantic.
I know. None of it matters. Nothing. The North Korean NATO and NATO. That's what it would be.
But I was really suspecting that could happen, and I suspect Trump might be trying to do that because that's very Trumpish, the kind of thing to do. But
yeah,
I think he did not manage to convince Kim Jong-un to give up the nuclear weapons. I think that's the main problem. So the entire talk collapsed.
I don't think you can. I think giving up nuclear weapons is probably the dumbest thing a nation can do. It's your only form of real sovereignty. Just like we're saying NATO is an idea on paper, but you nuke London, NATO does nothing, and you realize it is nothing. The nuclear weapon is your only form of sovereignty, not just
Mhm.
because you have a couple. Sure, I mean, a couple wouldn't destroy the US. You don't need to destroy the US. You just got to trigger a global war, and that's deterrence. So if if you're a little nation in the middle of nowhere, but you got some nukes, you have the ability theoretically to take down the world by simply just, I don't know, selling them to terrorists or something.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
getting rid of your, I don't really blame them. Why would you want to get rid of your nukes? Well, you can't trust us. You cannot trust the US. Well, fuck you.
But it was I was thinking about it because it feels like a very good deal. You give up your nuclear weapons, you got US security, and then they lift all your sanctions. You're not going to starve, and then Kim Jong Un can play on Steam. So you still can play his computer games. So I think sounds like a very good deal.
You just imagine Trump sitting there with a laptop and he's like, listen, we're gonna take away your enriched uranium. Have you thought about playing World of Warcraft on Steam? It's very good. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hold on. Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Can you tell everybody where to find you? Your social
Yep.
media and shit. Tell everybody where to find you.
Okay. So hello everyone. This is Wyatt from Defense Politics Asia, and you can find the Defense Politics Asia website at defensepoliticsasia.com. You can also go to the YouTube channel, which I highly encourage you to feed me at youtube.com/defense politics asia, and you can also follow the me or Defense Politics Asia on Twitter, on Telegram. You can just go to the YouTube channel to find all the links. We are on Facebook. We have a Discord channel, and I also have plans to have more channels and do some computer gaming as well. And what else? I have my own YouTube channel called Walking Problem. The common bet with Walking Problem. It's only 400 over subs, so not a lot. I have been doing videos on US politics and some other Singapore related stuff for around a year. I have over 100 over videos there, but I didn't really have that kind of subs. But you can follow me there. Walking Problem. Walking Problem have a lot more channels. I have Gap, Parler, Getter, everything. But that's separately from Defense Politics Asia. That's my personal ones.
Um,
Yeah.
I know I said I'd only keep you for an hour, and I know it's 3 a.m. your time. I can keep talking for a bit if you want to. I'd love
Yeah, I
to,
can.
but I
You
can't
talk
keep.
a bit
Okay.
more.
All right. So I was thinking like kind of just like we were talking about like the economy and so the economy is strong, the fundamentals are there, and then it falls upside down. Everyone's like, how did it happen? We also always kind of have these like worst case predictions that don't necessarily come true. Like I remember in like 2012, there was this like idea of Operation Jade Helm, and they were getting FEMA camps ready. And there are all these pictures of trains. And a lot of people on like Reddit were sure that like, oh shit, Obama's gonna start, he's gonna cancel the elections, and then he won the election in 2012, and then he left peacefully in 2016. Trump comes in. Oh, there's gonna be civil war if Hillary doesn't get in. We're gonna have war with China. They're gonna find out he's a Russian agent, and then nothing happens. Oh, COVID's here. COVID's a bioweapon. The U.S. will respond in turn. Not really. And so, just like we often say things are much better than they are, and then they all of a sudden they go belly up. The inverse is that there's also there's also constant predictions of how things are going to escalate into World War III.
Mhm.
Is this something that, now granted it's real, it's not theoretical. I mean, Russia and Ukraine are fighting. That's it's very
Yeah.
different than just a theory. But it also might be something where in 10 years we look back and remember when we were so certain that that was going to turn to World War, like could it just fizzle out like an Iraq war? Maybe it goes for 20 years. Is there a chance of that? Or is it too overt that the US is clearly using Ukraine as a proxy? I mean, General Nakazone came out like 3 weeks ago and said that the NSA was doing active operations against Russia, which for us, we say that a cyber attack is an act of war. Does this escalate to World War III, or is this something that could it, one, just kind of go on like a Vietnam or an Iraq war, or two, could it kind of like faux escalate into a Cold War again that just lasts for 50 years. What do you think?
I think the Cold War very unlikely to work out because the world needs Russia too much in terms of the natural resources. So and it's just not practical. EU EU is already struggling economically against United States after Trump's tax cut. EU is struggling so hard because USA suddenly becomes so competitive, and then you have UK leaving, and UK will be actively fighting against EU economically. So they were depending on Russia, which is why they are so unwilling to cut the gas, because that's their competitive edge. You see, that is the cheap gas.
It's the YouTube monetization. they're keeping them on the dole.
So I don't think. I think Russia. Okay, my personal feeling is that Russia will come out of this war stronger than ever before. And in terms of status, in terms of the influence, even economically, they will be stronger than ever before. Since they left USSR. So that's my opinion, which is why I was very against my country's sanctioning of Russia, because I think that is so short-sighted, because there is no way Russia is going to lose the war anyway. So then I think the chances of going to World War III is not that high. Ultimately, because Putin is, like I said, he's a very prudent guy. He's not Hitler, put it that way. Hitler is more, he's very impulsive. Putin is not this kind of person, which is why I think he will be extremely prudent and try his best not to go to war at all. He will try to put pressure, which is why maybe he's now using the gas cuts to remind the Europeans, hello, you are not facing reality. That could be the case, because Ukraine war doesn't start suddenly. It's an escalation, over years. The Europeans themselves, NATO themselves, even the Ukrainians themselves did not believe the Russians would invade, because the Russians have been gathering troops around Ukraine for years, for the past few years. Every year we have this, Russia is getting troops around Ukraine and they want to invade, and after that nothing will happen. So, which is why I believe that no one thought that the Russians would actually invade Ukraine. But that is, I think, a misjudgment in terms of the red line, because just like, we always say, we say that, all these bad predictions never come true. So they start to believe this notion where the Russian invasion will never come. Yeah. The Putin will never have the guts to actually invade. They will only, give threats, empty threats, and get in the troops. But they will probably make believe, themselves, brainwash themselves into thinking that the Russians need the Europeans so much. They cannot afford a war. The sanctions will destroy the economy. All these things, which now they tried the sanctioning and everything. It doesn't work. Yeah. Now turn out that the Russians actually don't need anything from the Europeans or from the West. Most of the things they don't need, because they only sell luxury goods inside. They only sell fast food, but all the raw ingredients the Russians produce themselves. They have all the raw resources. They produce food. They have fuel. They have everything. Just they don't have the the brandings and maybe some high tech stuff. They don't have it. So, but in comparison to what the Europeans need from the Russians, I think is just unbalanced. It's better to just trade. And Ukraine is not some angelic country anyway. It's one of the most corrupted country in Europe.
It's full of fucking Nazis.
So I didn't know about the Nazi thing. I know that they were very corrupted. They were like, the backwaters in Europe. Nobody cares about them. Yeah. They are the farmers, that nobody give a damn about. Then it's just like in Southeast Asia, talk about Cambodia, Laos, or Myanmar. It's like, who talks about them? They are like the backwaters. The Myanmar go to civil wars, Aung San Suu Kyi got overthrown. Who cares, man? Nobody give a damn. Yeah, nobody send the military in, right? Who want to die for the Burmese? Yeah. It's something like this. Nobody want to die for the Ukrainians. So I think we'll not escalate to that kind of point. But my worry now is China. China, a few things. US economy a bit. I'm not sure, because of all this printing of money, the incredulous debt that you guys have. I don't know how this will turn out. The Russians are leading the BRICS nations. They're going to expand this this organization, and they are not going to use US dollar in their trade. So that will be a problem. And given the history of US is that US will go to war to stop this kind of thing from happening. So that's kind of dangerous. Then we have China, which is economically getting a bit dubious. So they might go to war to cover up, maybe. So these are the things that I worry about. I'm not so worried about NATO going to war with Russia, to be honest. But this Kaliningrad Lithuania situation is extremely weird, which is why I suspect it might be UK might be behind it rather than NATO. So I saw one tweet, I'm not sure how true is it, that the EU decided to allow the Russian trains to go through unfettered. That means no disruptions. Then the Lithuania themselves say no. They must apply the sanction. But I only saw one tweet on it. I haven't really fact checked this. So I was like, what? The Lithuania trying to suicide? So I'm not sure.
Do you think that our overt use or our overt supplying Ukraine with money, supplies, weapons, intelligence, like the World War Z, keeping them alive, do you think that could, and this is kind of what I think, I feel like it's less that we're sending a message to Russia and more that we're doing this while looking at China. And we're like, hey, no, we're not going to overtly get involved, but we will use all the money from the United States and NATO, and we will prolong it, and we will pull you down into a quagmire. I mean, was Brzezinski, didn't he architect pulling Russia into Afghanistan, and it was to drain them? I think that is maybe, again, in all of my wisdom, but I think that's maybe why we're being so overt with Ukraine is we're looking at China and we're going, we'll do this with Taiwan. Do you think there's any validity to that? Or because up until now, it was always up in the air, right? If China moves on Taiwan, will the U.S. act? And no one really had a definitive answer because part of us is like, yeah, we're going to do it. The other part's like, dude, are we really trying to go to war with China right now? I think maybe that's why we're keeping this alive, because we're showing them that like we will make it very painful.
But it looks very ugly now because the sanctions are failing on Russia. Yeah. So
maybe China's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it.
No, but China know their limitations, you see, because China is not Russia. They do not have they do not produce all the natural resources they need. They don't have fuel. Yeah. They don't even produce enough food for themselves. They need to import food. They need to import grains for the pigs or the poultry. So they are not Russia, put it that way. So I used to I always tell people in the world today, there's only two real superpowers. When by superpower, it means that in a World War Z situation, where it's nuclear fallout, everything is going to hell. The country that can still continue to feed itself, to produce everything, maintain a big army, a high-tech army, are the real superpowers. That means you have totally no trade. Nothing is happening anymore. It's just war, 100% just war. Only USA and Russia can continue to do this. Because only these two countries produce fuel, they continue to produce food, they can maintain high technology weaponry, they can fuel a huge army. And only USA and Russia can do this. China cannot. In a world where there's no trade, any merchant ships go out will be sunk. China is dead. Their war cannot last more than a year, in my opinion. So in terms of that, China knows that if they get the kind of sanction Russia is getting hit from, China is not going to survive very well. So, but of course, now we're only at 4 months. 4 months old war. It feels like it's forever, but it's still a very short time for any war. 4 months is very short.
So what you just said, right? The ability to consistently produce food, fuel, and weapons, and China's not one of them.
Yeah, they're not one of them.
Okay, and now
not even India, in fact.
Yeah. So now let's take in, all the sanctions against Russia, and China starts creating their own like banking system, right? The SWIFT system, or ours is the SWIFT.
They're saying, the Russians are creating. So the Russian created their own. They're going to apply for the BRICS country.
Okay. Yeah. So, but let's say we're looking at China, and let's say we're China right now. I think it's in our interest, you and I, as the supreme leaders of China, Wyatt and Tommy, that we would want Russia to slowly get drained of resources and get sanctioned so that they come begging to us. And now all of a sudden we have in our own backyard all this grain, all this timber, all this ore, all this oil. So could China want Russia to keep fighting so that they have to come crying home to Mother China?
In a way, because I always view the world geopolitics as there's actually three major powers: US, China, and Russia. At this moment, for the past maybe 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
So, but China is the only one that is not the real superpower, which is why all their weaponry, the most high tech weapons, is still very dependent on Russia, and Russia is don't even want to sell them S-400s. They are like keeping this stupid copycats. They will be able to copy everything. They are not going to give you my S-400s.
Yeah.
In fact, they gave the technology, one of the supersonic missiles to India, the BrahMos missile. So to counteract China. So China and Russia is not friends. They are not actually friends. They are only friends of convenience.
Well, that's what I mean. So would China want Russia to sort of dig itself into a hole so that they would come to us and go, hey, we're not friends, but hey, you guys have money, and China goes, and you guys have natural resources. That's what I'm saying. I think kind of like the World Bank and the IMF, right? Give you these loans, you can't pay them back. Hey, don't worry, just give us some shit. That's what I think is because they're not friends, it is of convenience. China wants Russia to go into the hole, and then China lends them a hand.
But Russia isn't going to the hole. That's the problem now.
That is, that's the point. Yeah, it's not working.
So see, that's my point.
Okay,
Russia
I got you.
Because they are the superpower. Yeah. There is no grind Russia into the hole.
Yeah.
Because they can produce everything. China can go into the hole all by their own. You don't need to do anything. They just screw up themselves. They're going to the hole. Yeah. So China likes the current situation because it pushes Russia to their side, and then that secures them more. Because in any war that's going to happen, Russia is going to stand on one side and just watch. They're not going to get involved with China. It's not like North Korea situation because that one was a communist against the capitalist war. So that's a different kind of war. But now it's like, if China go to war for Taiwan or whatever reason with USA, Russia is just going to sit one side and just eat popcorns and just know, well done, man, my two worst enemies are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Which is what Chinese is doing now. They are just eating popcorns and the West and Russia is draining themselves out. Just that Russia is not draining themselves out. That's the thing. So, and then I think for China, they are definitely very aware because they are very smart people. It's just that they are trying to make things work in a very broken system. So they are just forcing things.
Yeah.
So, but they are very smart people. So that is the danger. US is very smart as well. The problem with US is the election cycle is too short. So you don't plan long term. In China, because they are just one party, they can plan very long term. But it still depends on the leader.
Well, we have the elections that are every 4 years, but I mean, I think it's becoming more and more apparent to me that there is a long-term party, and it's the military-industrial complex, and they're unelected. They can they look at this shit. They look at this shit decades out. They don't give a shit, Democrat or Republican. I mean, Biden comes in and signs a bigger defense budget than Trump. I mean, come on now. Like, everything else is the abortion and COVID and blah blah blah. He comes in and signs $777 billion, outdoing Trump, and Trump outdid Obama, and Obama outdid Bush, and I don't think
inflation.
Yeah, none of it matters, man. It's the military-industrial complex runs this shit. So now, does this escalate to space, the highest frontier, right? The creation of Space Force. We had, Space Command before that. Does this go to space? Because that is,
I think not yet. I think not yet. Until China start to build a base on the moon, I think then we might probably see something. I think satellite fighting between satellites, I think that could happen in a World War situation. Without a World War situation, I don't think people will sacrifice their satellites.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is it's much like nuclear weapons. You can kind of fuck the whole system, right? Because you only need to like shoot down 1 or 2 satellites, and then it turns into a debris field, which
Yeah.
wipes out
Then
others and expands, and then the whole thing is done.
yeah, then Uber will not work anymore.
Never. And then that's how you get a bunch of white people in the United States concerned. You can't take Uber anywhere. But I think with the creation of Space Force and then the X-37B, the unmanned space shuttle, which can stay up there for like 700 days, I think we're preparing for that. That's what
Yes.
I think. I think
And I think that's the brilliant part about Trump. I think he really, did the right things for you guys. I like Trump a lot.
I love Trump.
I'm a Trump supporter. So
I love Trump. I think that's
yeah,
probably why I'm not on YouTube
yeah. I just bought this book. I have no time to read.
in Trump time.
Ethan Navarro.
Yeah, I haven't read. I want to. I have it on Audible. I haven't read it yet.
I saw this book. I saw the promo, so I immediately bought it. But I didn't have a chance to read. It's sitting there for half a year already.
You got to get on. You got to. Do you use Audible?
Sorry,
Do you
Audible?
use Audible?
No, I don't use it.
You got to use Audible, man. Here, dude. So I listen to like an audiobook a week on Audible, and I only listen for 2 hours a day. I put it at 2x speed. As soon as I wake up, I turn it on. I listen to it. I mean, literally, alarm goes off, turn it on. I make my bed. I fucking do the dishes. I go to the gym, half hour at the gym, come back, I get ready for the podcast, shower, change everything, and then I turn it off. And it's about 2 hours. And if you listen at 2x speed, it's 4 hours. I only do a little bit every day, and I do it while I'm doing other shit, because whenever I try to sit down and read, I can't pay attention for more than 5 minutes. So by doing this, I've listened to, since I started tracking it last August, I've listened to 56 like historical books in the last year.
Wow.
That's what you got to do, man. Is so like right now I'm listening to a book on the NSA.
Yeah, I'm a bit low tech when it comes to book reading.
Chosen for Rylight's ground station was a godforsaken transfer at the center of Australia.
I'm a bit low tech.
Oh, so am I, dude.
So what I do is that when I'm working, I do listen to podcasts. Usually I listen to Teamcast.
Mhm.
So I like to listen to Timpo because it get me some sense of what's happening in the US, and he's very neutral.
Mhm.
Then sometimes Jordan Peterson and stuff. All this. I have his book as well. Whoops, sorry.
Got to get it on Audible.
Yeah, but then same. I have no time to read. I just bought them, and it's gathering dust over there.
Get it on Audible, man. Get it, dude. You'll be surprised how much you go through, because you turn it on, and dude, just go to the grocery store, go to the post office, start doing shit. A week will go by, and you'll realize that you knocked out like a 30-hour book on the history of the NSA, and you're like, I don't even. And when sometimes what I'll do, man, is when I'm playing video games, if I'm just playing like single player, I'll just mute it. If it's a game I've played before, like Ace Combat, I've run through that campaign like 100 times. I'll just burn through Ace Combat and listen to the book on like 3x speed.
Not bad. You still got a chance to play Ace Combat, to play games. I bought the Ace Combat for like 2 years already. I haven't touched it.
You haven't played Ace Combat? You haven't played Ace Combat 7?
The Ace Combat is the Japanese one, right? The fighter game. Yeah, I haven't. I bought the game. I never touched it.
What the hell?
I bought so many games I haven't played,
dude.
So yeah,
Project Wingman. That's another one that's like an Ace. That's like even weirder than Ace Combat, dude. I got time for video games.
I do play games.
Audiobooks.
I used to play a lot of FIFA, football, soccer game. So then, because it's short, every match you just play, you can stop. Then I play Age of Empires too.
You ever play Ghost Recon?
Sorry?
You ever play Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon, long time ago.
Wildlands. Me and my buddies are playing that right now.
Wow, Wildlands.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, you have to connect to my Steam, man. I have no idea.
Dude, you should play. Dude, you should play with it. We were playing last night. Me and my buddies. Actually, my friends that got me to have you on. We were playing last night, and it's like 4 a.m. We were still going, and like we didn't want to stop. And I was like, I kind of just want to like cancel my podcast tomorrow and just get a cup of coffee and play all night. And I was about to. I was really tempted. And my buddy Stoley goes, "Who's tomorrow?" And I looked at my calendar. I go, "Wyatt." And he goes, "You cannot fucking cancel Wyatt." And I was like, "Damn it!" So, dude, you should play with us, man. They love you. They're the ones who introduced you to me.
Yeah. I'm very surprised by the support I get from the channel because I speak with a Singaporean accent. my accent was much worse, 20 years ago, because I watched a lot of American podcasts and shows. So my accent is getting better, more easy for Westerners to understand. But my accent is still weird. So it's not as bad as the American Chinese Cantonese accent. They talk like that. I don't talk like this. Yeah, the ching chong talk cannot.
Oh, hello, white man, white devil, white Satan. Hello. Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I don't think your accent's bad, man.
so I thought because I started off the war with only 20 subs, so I wasn't expecting a lot.
When did you start? When did you start the channel?
I started the channel in 2017, but I didn't post anything for a long time.
Okay.
Then I started to did some videos, I upload. Then I was like, fuck, man, then the editing time is too long. I can't take it. Then after that, I just leave it there. Then I create another one when I have the mood and I upload. Then I was like, oh, nobody want to watch. Then like, forget it.
So when did you start like actively working on?
So I was actively doing podcasts last year on my own channel, another channel called The Common Bad Walking Problem. So so actually the year before, I covered conspiracy theories like QAnons, what the Italy did it. I covered all these things. That freaking hell, the YouTube took down my Italy did it video. I was investigating the entire thing, the entire flow, and I concluded that it's not convincing that it could be real. But the YouTube don't really care about my conclusion. They just took it out.
They don't give a shit.
I was pissed off, man. It's on Rumble anyway.
It's terrible.
Then after that, then I covered about the politics, the COVID stuff, then a bit of the COVID stuff. Then after that, it's mostly American stuff because I'm watching Tim Pool every day. I'm watching all the American stuff. So I feel like I'm a Singaporean living in, like as if I'm living in America because I'm just surrounded by American media. So then after that, so I cover. Then after that, then I covered some Singaporean stuff, some Singapore political stuff. But I only got 400 over subs. It's very hard because my content is not consistent, and I'm not posting enough. So unless I'm posting on a daily basis, I believe I can see the growth. But I'm not posting on a daily basis. So after that, it's I just tried this thing, that thing, try a lot of different things. Until the DPA, the Ukraine war coverage just exploded. So maybe that podcast is just a preparation for this Ukraine war, because I'm very comfortable with the mic now. Yeah. So when I first started the podcast, I was like, that's so weird talking to the camera.
Oh, dude, it's the weirdest thing at first. It's the weirdest. It's and you hate looking at yourself. Your voice sounds weird.
I'm so well trained now. I can just talk to the camera, have no problem at all.
Yeah.
So, but when I just started, I was like, that's so weird. And then listen to your own voice. That voice doesn't work.
But it's a tolerance. If you just got to power through it, and I know once you've heard like 5 episodes with yourself, you're fine.
Then so it was a surprise when after that I start to have this following, and then I never then they have this if the first meme start off with the defense politics Asia.
Yeah.
So what happened was that I didn't do this on purpose. So I was like, when I started the stream, because I don't like to do editing, so everything is one take. So
I never edit anything, man.
Yeah. So I go to OBS, I press start recording. Then I come to my screen. I was thinking, what am I going to say? So that, well, hello everyone, this is Defense Politics A. Then I was thinking what I want to say.
Asia.
Then after that, I was like, then that's people caught it. Then they start to get very excited about that. Then whenever I say Defense Politics Asia, then they're like, where's our A?
That's what my buddy Stoley kept saying last night. He was like, Defense Politics Asia. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, dude, you're interviewing Wyatt tomorrow. And I was like, I thought he was just being like racist, like Asia. Like, no, that's the thing. And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Then as I continue to cover, it's after 1 month time. That was just after it got monetized. It got very boring. You're reading 5 hours and more a day, all this Ukraine stuff, and then you're always reporting the things on the same, more or less the same thing on a daily basis. Then you get very boring. Then I start to crack some jokes, like the Transnistria. The Transnistria is this strip of land that want to break away from Moldova. So I drew it in yellow color. So I was saying this looked like a poorly drawn banana. then it caught on as well. Then I started to realize that people actually enjoy all this little tidbits of humor. So I started to add a bit more about all these things because I like to describe things weirdly.
Yeah.
Like so that there's once no pontoon bridges. So there's once I misspoke, like genuinely misspoke. I said tampon bridges.
Tampon bridges.
So I think the forces is trying to cross the tampon bridge, but then they built a tampon bridge, it did not work out. Then I think, pontoon bridge.
Tampon bridge.
But then it caught off. Then it caught on, and it became a tampon bridge all the way.
But that's the thing, man. It's like we were talking about before this. Like, there's no scripting. Shit sucks. And even like we said before, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We're just gonna wing it. But that's the thing, man. Is like when you're raised on like traditional American media, a kid, and you see the news and everything is it's multiple camera angles and they have makeup on in a suit and they're at a big desk with TVs behind them and they're like, today on CNN, whatever the fuck, you're gonna die tomorrow. And it's just like, and then a commercial comes up for toothpaste and I buy a new truck and then it goes back to it. Like, sure, it's very well produced. It's very, it's glossy, but it's soulless. There's nothing, you don't connect to it. You're just like, well, it's like a McDonald's. It's the same shit everywhere versus like you go to like one restaurant where it's like really, it's just, it's one store. It's been owned by the family forever and it's fucking incredible. It costs a little more, but it's really good. I think that's what drew me to, I started listening to Joe Rogan, like right when he started 2011, I was in college. And that's when I found him. I was like, oh, it's the Fear Factor guy. But what I loved so much about it was like, there was no script. He was sponsored by the Fleshlight. They just were swearing nonstop, talking about whatever, comparing shit to hookers.
Yeah.
But I learned more because it was like, this is how my friends and I talk. This is how, So, yeah.
And they talk about things that, because it came out randomly. So, they talk about things that you wouldn't know, or they wouldn't have talked about it if they do not just randomly chat. And this is also something that I like. So which is why I started off trying to do my own podcast stuff. But the thing, I think the problem is market. Singapore market is very small. I think that's one of the biggest problems. Second thing, I'm an Asian. In Singapore, talking about American politics, that is not very convincing.
Fair. It's a niche. There's no one else doing that.
Yeah. Because in my region, Asia is a horrible place in the sense that if you are a business trying to enter Asia, there is no such thing as one market. It's just 10, 20 over markets. Indonesia will speak their own language, Thailand will speak their own language, Malaysia will speak their own language, Philippines speak their own language. So even if I talk about Southeast Asian matters, I'm not going to have listeners, because they're all speaking their own languages. So that's why when I was doing my podcast last year, on Walking Problem. So my nickname is Walking Problem. That's also my alias for my gaming. But I know this very demoralizing because when you do, then you realize that, freak, man, it's just not growing. Is there something wrong?
Dude, it's the most infuriating thing, man. It took me from December 12th, 2019, almost a year to break 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then from December 2020 till August of 2021, I got to 5,000 and then got banned. And so I started again on Rumble in September 2021. I think I had.
And you got 10,000 now, right?
I think I had 12 subscribers, and now, in about 7 months. No, about September? So about 9 months, I'm at 10,400. So
do you get revenue from Rumble or
very little? I think I think in total I've made like $400.
Yeah, you should try YouTube again. I don't know.
No, they will not let me back. I've tried again.
Really?
Again. They will not. No, I've tried.
Okay.
I've tried again.
Tell Elon Musk to buy Google.
What? I know that's the next fucking thing. Well, that's why I'm interviewing so many guys running for Congress and Senate. I want them to get in there, and then I want them to break up Google or break up YouTube. I want to get the revenge.
Yeah, so this is like more towards American politics because because when I'm doing working problem it's mostly on American politics. One of the biggest problem I have is the censorship, and the most irritating thing is that because the world is so American dominated, we are using Twitter, Facebook, everything is American. Like the culture war in USA is being applied on the rest of the world, and that is so irritating.
It's fake and gay. It's fucking retarded.
It's like I'm half a world away, and then we are saying something random, and then we got banned.
Yeah.
And then we like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Because a certain word is actually a very rude word in USA, but it means nothing in Singapore. For example, ching chong is nothing. In Asia, in China, ching chong is nothing. It makes no sense. We laugh at it because the whole ching chong thing, right, is actually the way how Cantonese talk.
Yeah.
They think it's the way how they the accent. Yeah. That's a Cantonese way of talking, which is why when they speak, they have this ching chong feeling, and we ourselves laugh at them in this way. So so that's why how can it be like a racist thing?
That's what I don't get is how is mimicking racist? Like you go talk to my family in New England. They all have terrible accents, just terrible. Just fucking, the Red Sox, fucking the cow, hey Tom, how you doing? Like, but mimicking them isn't racist.
Yeah.
You're just mimicking them. Like they sound different. That's what's funny.
Yeah. So sometimes I've tried to during my podcast I've tried to tell people Americans are living in their own world. Like for example, they're doing this and doing this. There's nothing is in Asia. There's nothing. It is not offensive at all. No, we do that to the Koreans. Like the Korean, the Japanese tend to have this kind of eyes. The Northeast Asians, they have this kind of eyes because my heritage is more towards South China, so we don't have this kind of eyes. Like Vietnamese, we don't have this. Vietnamese don't have this kind of eyes. It's the North Koreans, the South Koreans, the Japanese. Some of the Japanese do have this kind of eyes. This is not racist. We do that to them too. Wow. We do that to them too. It's not racist. But you see. So, but this culture war thing, right? It's actually infecting the rest of the world.
Yeah.
In fact, we have this kind of conversation in Singapore, and then we have very vigorous reaction to them. We just fuck them. Yeah. Like for example, we have one of these politician in Singapore. She's very young. I think she for a time she was in USA. So she was running for election for the opposition. Then when she was going to before the election, she mentioned something that we need more brown skin inside the parliament. That is shocked the hell out of the whole of Singapore because we do not have this concept of skin color that much in Singapore. I mean, obviously we know, but it's not a thing. It's not like in USA, it's so clear. The blacks, the yellows, the white. Yeah. This is not the case in Singapore because even Chinese people can sometimes have darker skin tone than the Malays, which is tend to be a bit more brown. Then we have the Indians, because the Indian, their heritage is from South India, so they have very black skin.
Yeah.
So it's almost like African. So, but it's not really a thing in Singapore. When suddenly she said we need more brown skin, wow, she got a warning from the police. And then, and she got the population, a majority have a very negative reaction to that. Of course, the Malays, they are more, feel like they are oppressed, like the blacks in US. Sometimes there's always this group, they always think that they're oppressed. In Singapore, probably we have our own one. Then they start to support her, and surprisingly, she won the election because in Singapore the election is in a group, so it's like a team, one team versus another team. And in her team, there's one guy, he's super popular, so she got in. Then what happened was that eventually she's now not kicked out of the parliament because she lied in parliament about experience. So she said she escorted a rape victim to the police station, and then the policeman made a comment about her dressing, and then the victim cried and ran away. And she said this story in the parliament, so the highest level of of dialogue in the country. The Home Ministry and the Internal Affairs and the Home Affairs Ministry, which is the one that controls the police, as well as the police force, made immediately did an investigation. They cannot find this story. And then after like, months, a few months, after that, she finally admitted she lied. It was actually an anecdote that she saw. And then that story is actually from USA, from America. And she got kicked out of the party. She got kicked out of the parliament. Then the party leadership, the opposition party leadership, tried to protect her, didn't admit the truth because they know that it was a lie days after, but they did not admit to that. Then now there's police investigation into the party leaders as well. But you see, there's a problem with the culture war. There's poisoning the people even outside of the United States, and when I get blocked or get shadow banned by Twitter, that's so irritating. It's like, what's that to do with us?
Yeah,
but that's the influence of USA. That's really, really powerful.
Yeah, and I mean, it can only have a negative. The only effect it can have is negative, and also, I mean, they're driving people to other platforms. Without censorship, there's no reason to go to Rumble or BitChute. Why? There's no reason to get on Getter or Gab. But it's not until censorship that it's like, well, now I fucking have to go.
Yeah, because what happened was that because I did the Italy did it thing, and then I got struck by YouTube. Then after that, I also feel that I got shadow banned on Twitter, and I actually investigated. I did a YouTube video on that. That I was indeed shadow banned. I cannot find my own tweet. And if I use my own account, I can find my own tweet.
Oh,
but
sure.
I log in the different account, I search, I cannot find my own tweets.
Yeah.
So I did a video on that. Then after that, I got paranoid. Then I created a Gap account, the Getter account, the Parler account, Minds.
You have to.
I created so many of them. Yeah. But I haven't did that for Defense Politics Asia yet because I haven't, I'm trying to be very careful for that because I need the money.
Yeah. I mean, the money's a real thing. You should make you should make Defense Politics Asia on Rumble or something and just make it like uncensored where you don't care about what you say.
I do know the so-called uncensored version. I put it on Patreon, which is hosted on Vimeo.
Yeah.
So it's only available for the patrons only.
Yeah.
But I didn't really do much of that because it's a very different kind of channel. Because if I talk about American politics, there's a lot of crazy stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But in geopolitics, only some stuff you try not to talk about. Like for example, you cannot talk about Ukraine bombing their own people. It's explicitly banned by YouTube.
It is.
They put it in their time. Yeah. So after the Ukraine war started, they actually put out a notice that you cannot say Ukraine had killed their own people.
It started with you can't talk about the 2020 election. Then they added COVID. Now this.
Yeah. So you just have to be careful not to step on their tail.
It's never gonna stop, man. It's never gonna stop. It started with
I'm funded by the Americans.
I know you are. You gotta get off the tee. You gotta get
Washington paid me to be the Russian troll.
You have become what you swore to fight against. But
it
started with the little blue labels. The blue labels YouTube puts on shit. Like the little notification. I mean, it started with just the 2020 elections were had robust safeguards. And then they did a COVID one. And then now they have climate change ones, QAnon ones, JFK ones, moon conspiracy ones, 9/11 ones. I mean, I used to try to, like Pokemon. I tried to collect them all. And eventually, that led to me getting banned. But
you touched the most money making one, the COVID.
Yeah,
because that one involved the most money, way more than the military industrial complex.
Absolutely. So that's the thing.
I think that's the problem.
But that's the other thing is I mean, I knew I was getting banned right away just because I'm a hard-headed, arrogant asshole. And as soon as they told me I couldn't talk about it, I didn't really care about COVID. I just interviewed like a doctor kind of as like a whatever. And then when I was told I couldn't do it, I was like, fuck you. And I started just reaching out to every doctor I could. And I interviewed like 50 of them just because I just don't like being told to not talk about shit. I don't care about it's really not an interest of mine, but they just said, don't talk about it. So that's all I did was talk about it. But there was also I realized after my first strike, and I hadn't been monetized yet, but I realized that I was like, okay, well, if they're okay with doing this now with COVID, and then they started doing it with election fraud, I knew that it was just going to keep going. And then my worry was that I would play ball. I wouldn't step on their tail. I'd get monetized. I'd make some money. And then years down the road, the censorship would get so bad that I would have to go somewhere else. But by that point, my logic was I don't want to build up 50,000 subscribers and have to
And
go to
lose it.
Rumble. So it was bad enough to lose it at 5,000. But I'm glad I kind of just had it happen, because I didn't know. What you just said about how you're not allowed to talk about Ukraine bombing. That's all I would do. That's just it's as soon as I found out I couldn't do that, that's all I would do. And to me, I was like, I just don't want to put all this time into a YouTube channel that's going to get nuked. And then eventually mine did get nuked. But that's what I mean. I'm with you, man. I'm paranoid. I have it on BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey. What else? BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey. Everything's on Spotify. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't. Now, maybe it would be different if I was getting paid, but I'm not getting paid. So there's no reason for me to stop.
Yeah, my walking problem one. I think I only do not have it on Odyssey. I have it on what do I have it on? Let me check. I have it on Brighteon, Rumble. Then I have it on the BitChute. Yeah, but that's a walking problem one, because I'm talking about US politics is so dangerous, and I don't want to waste my effort. So every time I upload, I have to upload multiple places.
Yeah.
But at the moment I just throw it aside. It's like, yeah, the one that makes money will be the one I'm focusing on first.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I mean,
yeah, I'm very honest. I tell my followers too. I just say, yeah, but I have to make money off this.
Yeah, no, I'm being serious. I don't blame you. I mean, you have to pay for rent. You have to buy food. It's a very real thing.
Yeah, and I wanted to grow the channel, so I need to have at least a base, some kind of capital that I can work on to build it. So yeah, so I avoid certain topics is not too bad, because geopolitics, American politics is the danger one. The geopolitics is not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah, as long as I avoid American politics, I will be fine, I think.
I think you should start putting Defense Politics Asia on the other platforms, because
a lot of people telling me that.
It's Monday, June 27th, 2022. Heed my warning, Wyatt. You will get removed. It might not be this year. It might not be next year.
So the problem is revenue. On other channels, the revenue streams is not clear. Like even on Rumble, I mean, from my experience from Walking Problem, the Rumble reach is very poor. It's really, really poor.
It's terrible.
I think what is the beautiful thing about YouTube is that they actually able to share your video to a lot of people organically. From my point of view, much more than most social media accounts. Really, it's much more than Instagram. It's much more than Facebook.
Wait until you start getting shadow banned.
Yeah. I already got a bit of. I'm already put on a different algorithm. So actually, what happens is that halfway through the war, I suddenly see a dip in terms of viewership. Then I was like, and then I just cannot get it up. You see, it just consist. I'm gaining subscribers, but the views are just continuously straight. So I was like, something is not right. I think I got shadow banned, or I'm put on a different algorithm. Then people are saying that their bell button got unbuttoned, unbelled, and then they didn't see my notification, all this kind of thing. Okay, I was like, okay. Then I told my viewers, I say, okay, I think we need to do a experiment. I want you guys to all press the like button. I want to see whether it makes a difference. And then that video, so many people press the like button. Suddenly the viewership actually goes up. So then I realized that the like button makes a difference into getting the YouTube algorithm to actually share it to more people, new viewers, or even existing viewers, so that you will appear on the front page more. So that's why then it become a habit that every summary, in front of the summary, I will actually do a joke to get people to press the like button. Like I would say, the YouTube shadow banning unit is have their forces hiding behind the like button. I need you guys to attack it. Then then after I will play the opening reel. Then they will like go and press the like button and kind of thing. Yeah, that becomes a thing. And then it helps.
YouTube will catch on. They'll catch up. They're gonna get you.
I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. They put me on a different algorithm. So lately, I think that they might put me on an even more severe one, because lately it feels a bit sluggish. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm just doing my best.
I'm gonna
see how it
email,
goes. But
I'm gonna email this episode to YouTube and be like, "Did you know Wyatt is hanging out with Tommy Carrigan?"
what? You see
Yeah.
who?
You're gonna email me and you're gonna email me and go, "What the fuck happened? I lost all my subscribers on YouTube. They're coming for you, Wyatt. I'm telling you."
Yeah.
It's the worst part is retroactive censorship. So you might be talking about things now that in a year you're not allowed to talk about. And all of a sudden you're going to get a strike for an episode you did 9 months ago, and you're not even going to remember talking about it. And you're going to.
Yeah. I one of my videos on walking problem got strike like 1 year later for talking about elections.
That's what I mean.
So what I did, I would the Maricopa County recount. So they have this.
Maricopa County.
Maricopa. Then they have this this presentation where all the experts come in to give the presentation. So I actually did a video and cover the important points, the things that they covered. And then my conclusion is it's interesting, It was all right all the way until like a few months ago it got striked for talking about I'm trying to delegitimize the election. It's like, what the fuck? The videos was there for so long.
You're not allowed to discuss the conspiracy theory that widespread election fraud altered the outcome of the 2020 election. I know that. I have that. I know. I got that one.
So it's like, come on, man.
It's coming for you. I mean, I don't know why I'm telling you what to do. You're the one with 30,000 subscribers and an income. I don't know why I'm lecturing you. Just learn from my mistakes. You gotta decentralize, man.
Don't talk about diseases.
Yeah,
don't talk about monkeypox.
Yeah, monkeypox. I don't even. But that's the thing.
Monkeypox.
It's coming for you. It's coming for you, Wyatt. It's coming for you. Use your 30,000, 35,000 subscribers now. See, my problem is when I had 5,000 subscribers, I should have been telling everyone, go subscribe on Rumble in case this account gets banned. And I wasn't doing that. At the very least, if I were you, you have a 35,000 person audience. I would be telling them, hey, go subscribe to Rumble just in case. Because what you don't want to have happen is you lose everyone and then you start out again at nothing like I did. I was a moron. I should have been telling people, go subscribe here. And if I'm not here anymore, go there. Instead, I went from 5,500 down to like 12 on Rumble. And I truly had to. And people were subscribing 5 months later going, I couldn't find you. Where were you? I'm an idiot. Learn from my mistakes, man. Start.
So the good thing is that because of the Ukraine war, because of the tremendous censorship and fake news happening all around Europe and maybe in US as well, no one is reporting the truth. So a lot of people sign up on Telegram to look at the Russian sources.
Yeah.
And then so I actually got quite a bit of followers on Telegram. I think 2,000 something. So it's not that bad, and I'm on Twitter as well. So unless they did the whole big tech thing, like what they did to some of those
Trump,
cannot be mentioned,
Milo,
guys. I can't remember.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Milo. Yeah. All this.
Yeah.
Then okay, that's bad. If they ban me from MasterCard and Visa, come on, I would die in Singapore, man.
That's why you got to start. Yeah, I just start.
I don't think they can though. The thing is that because I'm not in America, so it's not so straightforward about banning me from MasterCard or Visa. I think that is the case.
For now.
Singapore is a bit different. For now. So I was thinking about also like if I ever get kicked out of YouTube for a bad reason, should I file a lawsuit in Singapore against YouTube? It's like you will screw them up. You become national news, international news because by the time they do it, my channel will be big enough. And then I'm 100% sure the Singapore government is taking tabs on me for sure. Because even when I didn't have the YouTube channel, we are the only so-called military political related think tank or website that is based in Singapore. So we have some followers or people from the government, from the foreign ministry, they are aware of us. So don't talk about even now that the channel is getting big. There's a channel and then it's getting very big. So maybe in a few months' time or in 1 year's time, there will be enough clout that I might even be talking more with the Singapore government side or whatever people, then it will get really hard for YouTube to actually try to strike me. Because if they strike me, then no, I will
I would
do a lawsuit. Then if I have the government backing, oh my god, it'll be a different thing. But of course, no, I'm just talking fantasy.
No. I get where you're coming from. I like the idea. I would say remember that they removed a sitting president.
Yeah.
So there's really no one too big.
It's very hard to remove a sitting president in Singapore because the one with power is the prime minister. So you have to remove the entire party. You have to do what they did in not even in Ukraine.
No, I mean big tech removed the sitting president. So there's never a moment where you'll never get too big to where you'll never get too big to where they don't remove you. They removed a sitting president. They might not remove PewDiePie. Maybe he's untouchable. Maybe Rogan.
Yeah, Rogan is untouchable.
Rogan, PewDiePie, and like Eminem. Aside from that, man, dude.
Trump. Oh my god! When they removed Trump, I was shocked. How can they remove a sitting president? I was like, wow.
Yeah,
this is going crazy, man.
Yeah, that's why when
Biden become president. Oh,
I know.
Then now we are seeing the effect of the nuts world.
When you get banned from YouTube, you can come into the welcome arms of Tom.
Yeah,
you can come to my podcast. You can come join us. You can come join the disinformation band of evil white supremacists that apparently.
Then the channel will change name. Welcome to Defense Politics Asia Uncensored.
Uncensored, coming from you live from an undisclosed location. That's the move, though, man. Is they're coming for you, and you can't negotiate with communists, man. They're gonna give them an inch. Don't talk about COVID. All right. Don't talk about Maricopa. Okay.
I think the all these Twitter clones that is coming out, like even Truth Social is also a Twitter clone, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been able to access it. It's only for Americans and Canadians, I think.
Yeah,
Americans.
I got on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had access to it yet because I'm not American. Yeah. So, Twitter clones are good, which means that you're weakening the Twitter power, and it basically works more or less the same. Although the UI of like Getter or Parler is a bit disappointing. It's still not good enough.
Parler's terrible. Getter's a little better.
Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself. So then you do not know when people actually saw your stuff or when to, and terrible. You don't really like this. It doesn't feel so comfortable in scrolling through. It's just drag to.
I mean, Twitter and YouTube, although they're dirty, shit-eating communists, I mean, they have great UI.
Yeah. So what we need is a YouTube equivalent, something that can pay well, so that the creators can actually make a living and to build content. But at this moment I didn't see it. Is Odyssey one of them?
I think Rumble. Rumble's the front.
Rumble is horrible.
No, I mean, but in terms of like a YouTube clone, it's the closest thing. I've been on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey for like 2 years. The closest thing in terms of organic growth, right? I mean, I've got 10,000 subscribers in less than a year. They pay some money. They do have an app that is okay. Their app's getting better. It's still bad. But as someone that's been on all of them for 2 years, the only one that's gotten consistently better, it still sucks, but it's gotten consistently better, is Rumble. And it's the only one that more and more people are starting to use as their, hey, if I can't talk about it here, it'll be on Rumble. It's kind of like China. You can't look at it right now. It's long term. In 2025, it's going to be even better. In 2030, it might replace you. And I know that sounds absurd, but when people are getting banned, when you ban people for talking about the election, you're only upsetting people that like Trump. When you ban people talking about alternative COVID treatment, you're only upsetting people that like respect like medicine. But as you get more shit, Ukraine bombings, you're going to upset more and more people. And much like we talked about earlier, the financial crisis, how did it happen? There's going to be a moment when all of a sudden, like the front line, YouTube just implodes and they're going to go, how did that happen? How did Rumble grow so big overnight? It didn't. It was a decade of slowly weakening the front line.
I think the problem with all these alternatives is that it's very political driven. It's mostly all the outcasts that they are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not enough of the casual content, which is what YouTube is excels, and that's what advertisers like. So it will be some way, still some way away.
I think, but even now, and I agree with that, but it starts with just the widening band topics. Now, so like my favorite comedian, the only guy I'm on, I subscribe to his Patreon, Tim Dillon. I think he's the funniest guy in the world. His last 2 episodes on YouTube, he's a fat, gay, liberal comedian. His last 2 episodes on YouTube now pops up with are you sure you want to watch this? Like, it may be offensive to some people, because he talks about, I don't know, like burning homeless people in an incinerator. But he's going on all this stuff. It's happened to him once now. It's happened to him twice. He's starting to get shadow banned. And he's huge. He's been on Rogan like 10 times. He's the most paid person on Patreon. He makes $250,000 a month. He is starting to get censored on YouTube. So like, they're digging their own hole. Like you said, the casual content, sure, right now in 2022, YouTube's still king. It's gonna drift more because you're slowly pulling in people. You have Tim Dillon, who doesn't give a shit about the elections, doesn't give a shit about COVID, doesn't give a shit about Ukraine. But now all of a sudden, he's getting slapped around by YouTube. So what happens when he goes to Rumble? What happens when you just piss off the wrong person? I think we're looking at it in a very, because we're in it and it goes really slowly. But even in the last 2 years, I mean, let's look at the changes. Rogan puts no new episodes on YouTube. It's only on Spotify, right? Rumble now. Tommy's exclusively on Rumble, right? All these things though.
Even Tim Pool, right? Tim Pool, he said that he is now rebuilding his entire library on Rumble based.
Steven Crowder, it's still small, but it is trickling over. It's only a matter of time, man. It's happening slowly, and when it happens, we're gonna look at it and say, "How did this happen?"
Why chef is to Tommy, man? What the hell?
Yeah. When I'm sitting on Rumble with 100 million subscribers, and you come groveling back to me,
hey Tommy, shout out! I only have 20 subs.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's what am I gonna do? I'm gonna say, yeah, fuck YouTube, defense politics, Asia, and I'm gonna have you on. Everyone's gonna be like, who the fuck's this guy? I'm gonna, he's an OG. He got banned from YouTube. Welcome to the gulag. But hey, Wyatt, this has been fun as fuck. Let's wrap this one up because I got another podcast I got to do.
All right, it's 4 a.m. here in Singapore.
Yeah, I know. Hey, send me right now before you go to bed. Send me an email with what you want me to put in the description. You can literally write your own links. I'm just going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to throw it in there. And
all right.
Also email me your Steam name. I'll give you mine, and you should come game with us, and we can fuck around.
Cool. Okay.
All right, man.
If you have the same game.
No, at least we have the same game. We'll get it. I'll make sure we get it. Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for inviting. It's an honor to be on your podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. Oh, hey, and I need you to give a shout out to Stoli. Stoli. My buddy
Stoli.
Stoli.
Stoli. Stoli. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Stoli. Thanks for helping me get on Tommy's podcast. I love you.
Loves you, Stoli.
I'll give you a medal.
You what?
I'll give him a medal. The medal of the heroic medal of DPA YouTube channel. Thank you for
like a medal of honor. Are you gonna like clip it around your neck at a ceremony?
So I actually give some kind of a reward or medal for every first comment in my YouTube videos. So everybody is just always racing for to be the first.
Give one to Stoli. Give one to Stoli. Stoli's the one that told me I had to go to bed and not stay up all night playing video games because I couldn't miss this episode. Stoli's a real one.
Thank you so much, Stoli. I love you. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Fuck yeah, man. I'd love to have you back on. And if you want, I'll try to put you in touch with Gordon Chang. If not, I don't care. But,
maybe not yet.
Okay, yeah.
Because I have plans to do some kind of like a podcast stuff.
Yeah.
But I haven't have the time to build that thing yet. So until then, if not, then I don't really have the avenue to talk to people. I don't want to mix up the news channel with podcast or interviews. So one by one.
Fuck yeah. Don't put it all together because they're gonna ban you. But Wyatt, thanks so much for coming on here.
Thank you,
I'll
Tommy.
email you the episode when it's up.
All right.
All that good shit. Send me the links right now
Yeah.
before you.
I will
go to
send
bed.
you
I'll put
my.
it-
I will send you. I will send you my viewers. I will promote this video. No,
Don't upload it
at
on
least
YouTube. Don't upload it
easy.
on YouTube.
I think at least 500 people, 1,000. I think we'll go over to watch. I guess.
You better. You owe me 1,000. You give me less than 1,000, I'll fucking kill you. Yeah, man, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to just download this off Rumble and upload it. I don't think you can on YouTube. That would be a bad. You'll get banned. But
No, it's okay. I think I send people your way is better.
yeah, just tweet it and shit. That'll help.
Yeah,
And,
because don't want to confuse don't confuse my content.
yeah. Who the fuck is this white asshole? This dirty Irish pig in front of an American flag. It's me. It's the verboten guy. White. I gotta run this shit up because I gotta use the bathroom.
All right.
I gotta do the next podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right.
Send you this episode when it's up. Till next time. Defense politics Asia. Thank you, sir. Thank you.